Tuesday. Hope everybody's alright. I just wanted to have a quick little rant. Not a rant, just a chat. I'm feeling pretty good, so hopefully I won't be ranting, but whatever comes out, don't it? Yeah, so I'm feeling quite good. I had a little meet up with a friend over the weekend, which was marvellous, and a little reset with the old mushrooms. That was beautiful. I'm saying it was beautiful in hindsight because it was actually quite a difficult trip, actually. I was wondering whether to do a video about this because I used to be so intrigued by people's psychedelic trips when I first started looking into psychedelic research or healing capabilities years and years ago. It's not that long ago. I made it sound it, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And yeah, and I used to love it. That's the first thing I started looking for on YouTube, was like people's trip reports. But yeah, basically the visuals were just endless. So like behind closed eyes, it was just felt like infinity unfolding, you know, in an infinite amount of ways. So, and it always feels like this to me. And so, you know, visuals aside, although I was focusing on the visuals for quite a while because, again, I was noticing the correlation that the visuals would change with my thoughts and energies. So if I was a little bit more anxious, maybe in fear about my experience behind my closed eyes, they would seem to be more trippy, threatening images. Not threatening, but like at one point it felt like a roller coaster, you know, that was just going on and on and on and on, and I couldn't get off it or change it or anything. And when I eventually calmed down, the roller coaster slowed down and then changed into something else, and I was kind of floating through. Not me and my body, but, you know, my consciousness, my ray of light, you know, whatever it is that travels with us, our souls. So yeah, and the patterns were so intricate, and what I usually do, which is always kind of a annoyance for me, but something that I can't help, is that I'm psychoanalyzing everything during the trip as well, so it's pretty heavy on the mind, like I'm, you know, anyway, it was really interesting. But what I felt like, the gist of it was that I felt like what I was being shown was almost like the mechanism behind collective consciousness. It felt very mechanical and quite dark at times, and just like factory machines working like super duper fast. And I was like, as a soul or a light or whatever, above it, and I was refusing with my consciousness, my mind, and, you know, to be pulled down into this machine, you know. And so for a good few hours, my little soul, my little light, this little light of mine. Anyway, I was trying to make it shine, and I was trying to get myself out of these dark and mechanistic programs that I could feel and sense and experience, you know. Again, it's really hard to articulate anything, isn't it, to bring anything back to this reality, but I kind of felt like I'd had a little victory, and I obviously had lots of self-realizations about my own state of chemistry during my experience as well. It always feels like a scanning and a slight rectifying, you know. So potentially the mushrooms have really reset me, which is good because, you know, again, I was just going off on shit that needn't concern me. Yeah, so that's not a fart, by the way. Squeaky chair. Just been playing with the kids today. Got yeah, kids are just great, aren't they? Been playing Nerf bullet fights and hide and seek, and just, you know, just singing songs and dossing about today. It's been great. But I do want to put a video down, and I was just thinking to myself, what's so nice after these types of resets, and, you know, just reorienting yourself, readjusting your neural pathways, simmering down your chemistry, whatever it is, you know. yeah, I just come back to the very simple things, because for me, again, everybody's perspective is different and we need not fight over anything. It's such a beautiful thing, our unique perspectives. I've really come to see this with my whole bullshit with the astrology. You know, I really feel like I've come full circle now, even further than I was a few weeks ago, where I'm just like, it's all just divine perfection. Whichever way you look at the stars and the planets, it is all divine perfection. Ah, yeah. So anyway, what the fuck was I on about? I don't know, I just feel like simpleness is coming back. Oh, I saw my teeth then. So, you know, I've been moaning about my teeth forever and a day, but I got my big front one whacked 3 months ago, and I'd been shirking the dentist for a start because I didn't want to wear a mask, and I just knew they'd be like funnier about it if I didn't go. Which is hilarious as well, isn't it? It's like, I'm in a dentist, my gob's going to be open in a minute and you're all going to be down it. But anyway, so I'd put it off for ages, and then I was like, fucking just go, because it's doing me in now. And I knew when it had happened that it was bad, because it fucking hurt, actually, and I've got quite a high pain threshold, and it was wobbly and blood everywhere, and my lip was fat, and I've not eaten on it since, so I knew, you know, I've still got quite a bit of shooting pain if I touch it. So anyway, I was like, I just don't want to go, because I've had so much bad luck with my teeth over the last few years. I just couldn't deal with it. Anyway, I fucking went. Only because they rang me and you know, they caught me in a good moment, and I was yes. So anyway, they x-rayed it. I'll put the picture on here. Yeah, it's just completely fucked. It's like fractured right across the top, and like the dentist was like, oh yes, you don't need a dental degree to see that, you know, this is a goner. And I'm like, fuck's sake. So my options are, again, same as what happened with my other fucking ones at the back. It's like, I can't afford an implant. So, you know, the options are fucking denture again. Or maybe a bridge or something, but they've given me a few months to think about it, and I'm just like, I'm just going to leave it in. I'm just going to leave it in until it comes out, because it's my front tooth. So, yeah, I had quite a bit of bullshit come up around that, you know, and I really, really felt sorry for myself that day. I was crying a fucking river, and now I'm like, and the situation's still the same now, but I'm like, it's not that big a deal, whatever. Can't help it. It's just funny, like my brother, it happened to my brother as well. As a kid, we both got our front teeth knocked out on a bicycle, but they were baby teeth, you know. So we got the other ones. And then he got his knocked out again after it was his grown-up tooth. So he has a false one. He actually had them both knocked out, bless him, when he was a kid, and so he has 2 false ones. Yeah, just shit luck with teeth, you know. But then again, I've just not taken enough care with him, so that's my lesson, and I am going to do that. But anyway, God's sake, so no front tooth soon, but fucking hell, whatever. At least I'm alive. I'm alive. So my point was having a little reset, and then just getting back to simple shit, you know, just like simple spirituality in terms of feeling the power within me again, feeling the light in me, feeling the Christ in me, you know, in all honesty. Just that Christ consciousness, that eternal immortal light within me. And it feels like it's raising again, and it's just super cool. Like, I feel quite tribal, and, you know, sort of just like ready to fight the good fight, you know, however that unfolds, however all this bullshit unravels, you know, I'm here to throw light on the dark and eternally point out the bullshit, you know. It's part of my makeup, and funnily enough, astrology has helped me see that in some ways as well, that it's not necessarily a bad thing to be heavily discerning, or not even discerning, because that's spun in a good way these days, discriminating, you know, to judge things against the other in in a way to find right from wrong, you know. I've kind of felt a bit of shame about that innate nature of me to judge. But there's definitely a place for it, you know. So anyway, I'm just feeling like the simpleness and the beauty and everything, and sometimes the hilarity and how we as humans can complicate things, but how essentially, like, I don't know, many of the religions and myths and ideologies and stories and poems and poignant films or anything that ever sets your juices on fire is all really the story of the awakening of the light inside us, and you know, the 7 chakras, and illuminating the crown chakra, and yeah, meeting Christ within you basically. And it's really beautiful. So anyway, I found this guy, Amor Russell. He's the bomb. I'm going to put his video down below. It was just amazing. I just loved how his emphasis was on, because, you know, obviously it's all the same stories, and it's you know, don't live in the lower chakras, in the lower human desires, you know, the carnal desires, and not just, you know, thugs. It's like greed, lust, you know, jealousy, envy, hatred, lying, any of these lower frequency things, they're fueling, you know, down there. But what happens at the moment of awakening, and this is fucking spot on, what happened to me was the peak of my density. I was at the peak of my lower emotions, you know, and I used those lower emotions with help, like through the dark night of the soul and through, you know, a mystical experience with what I probably think now is probably like a plasma being or something. But it's using the lower energies to propel, you know, up the spine, up the chakras to the crown chakra, to the higher self. You can use that. That's what they're there for, you know, to open up that. So, yeah. And then somebody else I was listening to was 1212. I saw them. Fucking number synchronicities have been wild. Like, wild. I think I went out for a drive the other day. It was about 20 minutes. I saw cars with like 222, 333, 444, 555. Didn't see the 666, but 777, you know, just mental number syncs all day. But anyway, yeah, something in the Gospel of Thomas, and I can't remember the exact words or whatever, but the essence of it was that what's inside you, what's within you, it needs to come forward, it needs to come out, whatever that is, because if it doesn't come out, you know, it'll destroy you, the energy, the charge within you, if we don't express it in any way we want. And that's the reality, you know, express it in any way you want, as long as you're not hurting anyone. Because we're all here for individual divine purposes, and it's so simply beautiful, and we all just need to, you know, focus on the heart and the home, and really just what we're emanating with our energy, you know. Far too often I'm far too anxious and caught up in things that really, really don't matter, and yeah, I'm just feeling a renewal, so I'm grateful. So anyway, yeah, and there's a new moon in a couple of days in Capricorn through the sidereal lens, in the nakshatra of Dhanista, which is the drummer. So apparently it signifies time and, you know, the beat of life, music, dance, all that type of thing. But also it's like the really solid part of Capricorn. It's the middle part of Capricorn, so it can be quite Saturnian, time focused, and yeah. So it will be interesting because, you know, not only are the sun and moon there in Capricorn, but all the other planets are apart from Mars. All of the 7 planets. Anyway, you know, Sun, Moon, Saturn, Venus, Jupiter, Mercury, all in Capricorn, and Pluto, you know, even though that's an outer planet. And then there's just Mars in Aries, and Uranus is there as well. So yeah, it's a super pile-up. Yeah, I don't know, I'm just grateful. I've got my Jupiter return coming up soon as well. And I'm hoping that may, you know, open up some kind of different trajectory for me, you know, maybe in terms of luck or abundance or, you know, wealth, you know, that would be cool. So I'm just going to follow my urge. This is what I'm feeling. I'm following my urge, and I'm getting the urge to just do more and more expressing. Yeah, so that's wonderful. I'm going to get off now anyway. Happy Tuesday. Speak soon. Bye.